I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading, and I wanted to take a moment and kind of chat about why I tend to address in my videos and blog posts and all that stuff, why I tend to address the 21 to 34-year-old age group more than I do my own age group. I'm 70, and what I consider the older age group as to be about 50. So that's kind of what I'd like to chat with you all about today. Such a beautiful day. I'm usually stuck behind a desk and doing trading or something during the day, and I just love this May weather that we're having here in New England. The sun is out, as you can see, and it's just a beautiful day. So I wanted to come out and share the day with you if you happen to be in a place where it isn't quite so nice. Yeah, I've had some questions. I'm going to sit down here and relax, and let's see if we can keep my GoPro camera from flipping over like it did the other day when I was doing a video out here. That thing just, I need another stupid selfie stick, I think. Yeah, so again, I'm 70, so I should be probably talking to people more my own age. But look, I've been studying currency trading since 2007. I've been trading. I had my first couple of live accounts, mini accounts, in 2012, wiped out from that, and then, as I've told my story before, lost a lot of money in 2017 because I had been paying attention to what everybody else was saying, the way that you should be trading, and didn't really look at it as objectively as I should have, based on my degree in physics and a 33-year career as a senior software engineer writing complex web-based business applications. And I know how to solve problems, and I just didn't go about solving the problem the correct way. So when I finally figured it out, I thought, well, this is really cool. I'm an educator. I've been in martial arts for 50 years. I've got students that have been with me 30 and 40 years. So I'm an educator. I know how to convey information to people. And more importantly than that, I know how to take a complex system and break it down into its simplest component parts and then present those in a logical order. So I'm a good teacher. I'm a good mentor. And I thought, well, I would be a good teacher in currency trading. The opposite to that is that I really don't want to run a training business. Like I said, I'm 70 years old. I'm having a great time in my retirement. I retired as a real estate investor. So I put my time into work and investing, and I don't necessarily need the money that would come from pushing a training business and all that other stuff. So on the one hand, I'm a good teacher, and on the other hand, I don't want to get involved in all that. Because it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of people out there, quite frankly, that don't want to do the fucking work. I have worked with some people before, and they don't want to do what I ask them to do, and I tend to piss them off because in a martial arts class, you do what I tell you to do because that's the way it's going to be done, and we all ride together through success. And if you don't want to do the work, there's the door. Get out. And I've always been that way, because if you work hard at something, and you know this from whatever it is that your expertise is, you work hard at something and you know what you're doing and it's the way to do it, if you know how to present it, then sit down and shut up and listen to what I'm saying, because this is the only way you want to learn. You tell me that this is the way you want to learn. Well, I haven't experienced that in currency trading, trying to teach people how to do currency trading. I guess it's, I was going to say is based because of the fear and greed that's involved in currency trading. But man, let me tell you, teaching martial arts for and self-defense for 50 years, I'm a fear-based trader. I mean, trainer. That's what we do. You want to get you want to avoid getting punched in the face. This is what you got to do. So it is fear-based. So that's not an excuse. But regardless of that, I haven't seen the same cooperative interest and work from the older folks that I would think would need it the most. You take a 50-year-old who hasn't had a reasonable process of savings through his life, I think the recent statistics are that the average net worth of the 55 to 64-year-old age group is $103,000. Well, you know, if you pull 4% of that out a year to live on, that's $300 a month about, you know, and you tag that on top of Social Security, you got nothing. You can't even pay rent in most parts of the country on that, let alone food and insurance and gas and all the other stuff that goes with it. And that's the state that, you know, something like 80% of Americans couldn't come up with $400 in an emergency. This is scary stuff. And so you would think that you would go out to that 50-year-old age group and above and say, look, there is a solution. You can start this stuff. You don't need $40,000 as a down payment to buy an investment piece of real estate, or 50% down to buy 100 shares of Ford stock. You can get into this stuff for $1,000. Well, you could get into it for $100, but I mean, if you're trading micro lots at 10 cents a lot, your attention span is like a gnat. So you're not going to learn anything trading micro lots. So mini lots, that's great. You put $1,000 up, you trade for $1 a point, and you learn your craft. And then don't do it like I did it. Put up $40,000 and go through that, because then you're trading for the money instead of for the skill. When I teach somebody, it's for the skill. So I cannot seem to talk to 50 and 60-year-olds and say, look, you've lived a long life and you're in a jam right now. So here's a potential way out. Not everybody can do currency trading, but why don't you take a look at it? And the people that do take a look at it don't do what I ask them to do. They either think they already know what they're doing, you know, oh yeah, I teach them currency trading, and they're talking to me about what they're doing in the stock market. What the fuck does the stock market have to do with anything? This is a totally different ballgame. And you need to pay attention. You'd think that somebody that was 50 years old and the experience that they had, that they would welcome the ability to investigate something new and determine for themselves whether they had the ability to do that. And, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to convince anybody to come and train with me. I'm not going to teach cheap. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sell a program for $350, and I'm not going to sit there and mentor somebody for $200 an hour. That's just not going to happen. I know what I'm doing. I'm trading small right now because I got wiped out. I lost $50,000. I'm going to build that up, sell my last building, I'll put my money in, and then I'll go from there. That doesn't detract from my ability to mentor somebody and show them along the way. I'm a successful real estate investor. I mean, it's not like I'm coming out of this thing broke and I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And based on all that, and being 70 years old, you'd think the 50-year-olds would say, oh, you must know what the hell you're doing. Maybe some 22-year-old doesn't know what he's doing, but you must know what you're doing because you made a lot of money, you're a millionaire, and now you're doing this new thing, and maybe I ought to take a look at it. Well, if you're going to take a look at it, then do what I ask you to do. And they don't seem to want to do that, guys. I don't know why that is. So if you're in that 21 to 34-year-old age bracket, you're hungry for knowledge, you're hungry for information, you're getting stagnated with a stupid job that you have to do. You've got student loans that aren't going to go away. You're, well, in this COVID-19 crisis that we're all dealing with right now, we got bugs going on all over the place. Between Mother's Day and Father's Day in New England, it's black fly season, and it's flying all over every bug in the world is flying around. But if you're in that 21 to 34-year-old age group, you see things differently. And look, if you're learning currency trading, you're going to lose some, you're going to win some. Hopefully you're going to win more than what you lose. And when you first start out in a simulated account, that's just to learn the mechanics and the plumbing of trading. It has nothing to do with real trading. You can be a hero like I was doing simulated trading, and then get into the real world where you start trading. Even if it's only $1 a point, it's going to hurt. You lose $10 in a day or $20 in a day, it's going to make your roids flare. I guarantee it. And when that starts happening, if you don't have good emotional control, then you're going to lose a few $100s. You may have to do that 2 or 3 times. But anybody can come up with a couple of $1,000 over a 3 or 4 month period of time in order to learn a skill in a simulated account, to get in there, really hone that skill so that they have that skill, even if it's only for a buck a pip. Because look, you know, my goal is to make 0.5% on my risk a day. So that's $5 a thousand. So if I got $1,000 in my account, I make $5 a day. If I got $10,000 in my account, I make $50 a day. If I got $100,000 in my account, I make $500 a day. And now I'm making $90,000 a year. So even if I'm off by half, it's still money that you could live on. It's still money that will replace even Social Security. So I don't know why the 50-year-olds don't get that, but the observant 21 to 34-year-olds who are looking at the 50-year-olds saying, man, I don't want to be in here if I can choose when I get to be 50 years old, they're going to pay attention to me. You're going to pay attention to me. Because I'm the old guy that's been there. I got beat up. I've made my money. I know what's going on, and I can point you in the right direction. If you want to listen to some other 22-year-old or 30-year-old trader who's a cowboy and just out there throwing shit against the wall, or even worse than that, running a multi-level scam program or a signals program, trying to tell you that you're going to get rich, and driving around in their Lambo and flashing their wristwatch at you, that ain't the guy that you want to learn how to trade, because that's not sustainable. That's not realistic. And if you look at some of the people that are debunking these guys, they rent their Lambos, they don't own their houses, and their watches are fake, and the money that they deal is movie money. So that's just the reality of the thing. Watch all the YouTube videos that you want, but listen, that's the group I want to talk with, is the 21 to 34-year-olds. If you're in that age group, pay attention. Watch my videos. See if I make sense to you. Go to my blog site Longwood Currency Trading website that I have. There's a link on there for the blog site, or there will be. I'm just building the blog now, today. It's the end of May. I'm just writing articles for the blog, and I'm just doing a bunch of videos to get up. So I've got something of substance up there. I don't just want to go up there with one video and 3 blogs. Get up there and put some stuff out there so that you guys can see a progression of information and knowledge for you. So I hope that for those that are asking me about this, why are you pitching this stuff at 21 to 34-year-olds? It's because I think you're going to pay attention. I haven't had very much success with the 50-year-old age group. So, and it doesn't make any difference whether you pay attention or not, because I'm not looking to run a training business. I've made my money. I'm having a good time. I enjoy writing. I've written 30 books that aren't, none of them are published. 15 of them are on currency trading. They're currency courses and stuff. Some of them are 150 pages. None of them are published. I love the creative process of writing, and I'm sort of getting into this YouTube stuff and kind of enjoying that. So I'm doing it for my own enjoyment more than anything else. But if you really want to train with me, yep, we'll try to figure out something to make that happen. But it ain't going to be cheap. It's going to be more expensive than probably what anybody else is going to charge you, because I don't need your money. Having said that, I want you to have a great day and a great trading day. I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading. And check out the rest of my videos and my blog posts, and stay in tune with it and watch it go through, because I just love to do this stuff. Thanks a lot.